Hello everyone, welcome to another video. This is the Felfire Gaze channel where we discuss everything about demon hunters in World of Warcraft. Today I come to you with a commentary video of an Neltharion's Lair plus 25 fortified. This is a pretty high key and I would say that it went pretty good. You will see that I use the Shattered Destiny build, which is primarily focused around single target and low target count. This is generally a very good pick for Neltharion's Lair since the bosses are super scary. You also get to pick Netherwalk, which is super useful against burst damage. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, starting here, we will put the key at like 1 second while we jump before that, so we bug the game. If you don't know that, if you jump before you enter the key, you get teleported to the waterfall here, and you actually gain some time because you don't have to wait for the bubble to pop in order to jump into the pit. This is a pretty common bug. Everyone abuses it. Every single run you'll see does the same thing. So we will start with a big pool here. The tank is pretty confident. It's a fortified week, however, the mobs are scary, but our bear is pretty brave. So we will pull absolutely everything here. We'll start with the Sarkaret trinket, we do the Sigil of Flame, and we go into the I-beam. The Hunt, we spend Inner Demon, we go into the Essence Break combo, then we spend Inner Demon again, another I-beam, and keep going from there. So we have everything on cooldown. We send the DPS pot, the Metamorphosis, we send the Blade Dances, the Glaive Tempest, everything on cooldown. And we also send the Fear, the Sigil of Misery, so we try to stop some mechanics where we can. This is a pretty good pull. I was a little bit scared, I would say. I was playing behind for a while because I did not want to get cleaved or something or killed by the AoE. The Spiteful Shades did not target me, which is fortunate at this stage. We're cleaning up the pool. It went pretty good. So this is another scary pool because it's not scary for the group, it's scary for you because all these mobs do these frontals and all of them are one shot for you, right? As a Havoc you're super squishy, they do physical damage, you have no mitigation. A Shade targets me, I'm too slow to move. I also stepped into the puddle, that was very dangerous there. I slow here with the Throw Glaive so I can move on. I'm a little bit scared here, I don't have much damage, I move in. I-beam is back, so I proceed with my damage. You can Chaos Nova these Furious Slumps to protect your tank. If you notice, like I'm super scared here because I've died many times to the tank turning around and just killing you, outright killing you. You send the Hunt here, you see I use the Hunt and then I move through all the mobs. And if you do that, you will spread the Hunt dot. Even if you don't initially move through the mobs with the Hunt, you will be able to spread the dot if you just move right after and move through them. You have like a 1 second period after the Hunt is cast to spread the dot. After that I had no other damage, so I realized I can jump early downstairs and trigger the role playing so we can get going and get to the first boss. This boss is again super scary for us. A lot of physical burst damage is what tends to kill Havoc the fastest. We are pretty good in the sense that we can burst the odds pretty fast, and that's very useful because not every class can do it as good as we do. But again, our survivability is gonna be the key issue here. I know the ads are coming, the cast is coming. I use the Sarkaret trinket to finish this off, and we have the Shatter. Fortunately, it's a fortified week, so the shatters do not hit as hard. So here you will see me, I will jump right into the ads and do the cleave. I know the boss has a frontal coming soon for me, so I need to be prepared. But I kill the ads pretty quickly. We do the Shatter. I manage here to time Metamorphosis during the Shatter, so I immune the damage completely. That's a little tip that you can do. It's not like super important, you can just pop Blair and take it. Here we see the frontal, we gather on the edge, we send the hunt on the boss because we want the leech. We don't send it on the ads unless it's absolutely necessary. So we have this ad right here. It's not gonna die. I blare. Last minute I realize the ad is still alive, so the shatter will hit for a lot more damage because it makes the ad explode. And that's why I decided to pop Netherwalk, just to be 100% safe. So here I wait for the final ad to arrive and then I send the I-beam. Okay, so I will clean up whatever is still alive and make sure that the last ad dies. The last ad is more often than not the most scary because it spawns very close to the shatter cast, so you tend to get a really small window of opportunity to kill it. Here you avoid the frontal, you stay on the ads, you try to burst them. Here the last one. It's pretty often the case that I beam right before the shatter, let's say, where all the ads are there and I can cleave them all and make sure, yeah, you see, I cleave this one to 30%, then I swap target. I just want to make sure that the new ads that are spawning are dying consistently and they're at low HP. There is another shatter coming, but we are super clean here. I blare again because blare is back, so why not? Here I realize we're not gonna get another shatter. I send all my damage to the boss. Do we even put a skull marker on it? Yeah, I put a skull marker on it. I try to do that in a lot of keys. I try to put skull markers in order to coordinate with the other DPS. We're not on comms, so this is something that definitely helps prioritize damage and definitely improves your chances of successfully completing the keys. We enter to the barrel, we go down the drain. That's a chill part of the dungeon. Our cooldowns are coming back. So this area is again dangerous for Havoc. There are all these mobs, the breakers, that do the avalance. Avalance is one shot for Havoc on at this difficulty. I think I'm not 100% sure, but it's physical damage. Again, the whole thing with Neltharion's Lair is that it's all about physical damage, and moreover than that, there are these pelters. The pelters are super important. You see, I've marked one with skull. Here I hold my eye beam because I wanna do the metamorphosis essence break combo. Do I manage to? Yep, I managed to do it normally. Here there is another avalanche. I'm scared. I fell rush out, you see, because I was scared that avalanche will drop on me. Here I get hit by avalanche. Still, it's not a one shot for multiple reasons. One, we have the augmentation evoker, which protects us. Yeah, that's primarily the reason. So another avalanche comes here. I managed to do a pretty good job here with the essence break and stuff. I get fixated. I keep moving to dodge the avalanche. I get hit again. To be fair, when you have like multiple things on you, like a shade chasing you and the avalanche, it can be tough. We managed to survive here the breakers and we kill the pelters. Pelters is the most problematic mob in the dungeon. They are public enemy number one. You see a pelter, you focus him down. When we have multiple pelters, you skull one, so you know you're gonna focus one because you cannot afford to have it alive. So here I cage, and my tank uses my healer uses Hammer of Justice at the same time because we wanna stop the drummer, and we focus the drummer here. There is no pelter, so we're good at that. You might notice I've put breaker on focus. This is a small thing I do, one of the breakers at least, so I know that he's casting avalanche whenever he is. I get a demon, I kill the demon, I spread the hand like I told you, I move a little bit. I kick the shapers cast. These stone bolts, especially on fortified, can be super dangerous. So it's like I could put on focus target the shaper because it would allow me to kick easier, or to put the breaker so I can track the avalanche. I need to pick one of those. I cannot have both. One small tip here, we kill the basilisk here. Normally you need to kill the hunter before the basilisk because the hunter can spawn another basilisk. So you can either kill them within a small window from each other, or kill the hunter first so that he's not able to spawn another basilisk. Something you might see me doing throughout the entire dungeon is throwing glaives to the shades with the master of the glaive talent, so I can slow them down, I can help myself, help my teammates get away. So this is a part we don't want to do. We skip this, we do other packs later. Breakers and pelters, so especially the pack with a double pelter behind, you don't want to do it on fortified, it's super scary. Here you see I focus the shaper so I can focus kick, and I'm hitting, I think I'm hitting like the big targets here. There's an avalanche, I get hit, I almost die. There are two totems from the shapers. We have another meta here, we send it, I kick the shaper, and yeah, at this point, like, you just wanna try to dodge avalanche. It helps if you are, let's say, spread out from your teammates, you're at a corner isolated, so when the avalanche cast is coming you start moving and you can avoid it. So we kill everything here. Our healer died, I'm not sure how, and I remember I panicked. I was looking at the frames, I was like, why is the healer dead? And then an avalanche comes and I get hit. So yeah, this is pretty bad. They nerfed avalanche a lot, because I remember getting one shot over and over again whenever I got hit. Avalanche in and of itself, it's not so hard to dodge, but when it's overlapping with other mechanics, there is Sage hunting you, you try to kick something, it's pretty reasonable that you get hit, but yeah, you shouldn't. Here we get with the geode. The geode is the most annoying mob for casters. Like, I think the Shadow Priest is pretty mad at this moment. You see, again, I focused the shaper to be able to kick whenever I need to. It's a pretty common strategy that I tend to employ in every single dungeon. I try to prioritize target something and focus something else, so I can track its casts or its abilities in general. And yeah, here we have a pelter, as we said earlier, public enemy number 1. So we focus him, I put a skull on him, another avalanche, I dodged it successfully this time. Yeah, the pelter has to die. It's like, I'm a little bit scared here, you know, I don't move in too much because I'm scared of the breaker frontal, but the tank is positioned pretty well right now. To his credit, this tank did a pretty good job of standing against the walls and making it easy for me to DPS, because I did not have to worry about getting cleaved most of the time. So here, yeah, you see these pelters, they are jacked, man. Like, they target random people, they destroy them. Here I get hit by a double avalanche. This is bad. To be fair, I was doing a pretty poor job with avalanche, now that I say it, in this specific dungeon. Yeah, so I get the combat res, I'm back. Here you see the pelter jumps on that ledge close to the boss. I'm super scared to go there because I can body pull the boss and I don't want to risk it. You see, even now I do I-beam and I face it towards the left in order to avoid cleaving the boss there, because we don't want to pull the boss. Like I said, it's super scary. I dodged this avalanche. I think our priest died from the previous avalanche, so yeah, our group could definitely have done a better job with avalanches. We kill the sage, we're gonna go out of combat and rest the priest, and we enter the boss. At the moment I have every single button here, you see, so I can pop off. The cooldown timing has been pretty solid up to now. Okay, here the tanks pull the boss, it knocks us back. You pop Emulation of Glaive Tempest before I-beam most of the time. I also use the Hunt, and then I go into my Essence Break. So we will get through the Essence Break. I save here, yeah. You be super careful about the hands you spread from other people, because you can get cleaved from other people's hands. Here I saved my trinket up to now because I want to hit 3 targets with it, like I did here. Same thing with hands. You wanna pre-spread. You wanna make sure you don't move when the hands spawn, because you can fell rush and the hands move and they spawn mid-air and you get clapped and you get one shot. So here I have the hands, I move sideways while I'm doing my damage, all good. So the boss spawns another two totems. I try to DPS them. You need to know at the end when these totems die, the boss jumps, so you gotta check where he's going. They are super high in HP at the moment, so I said, okay, I cannot bother with this. The totems need to die. They are super high HP, so I cannot trace the boss right now. I hope someone else did. Looks like people did. Someone else put the skull marker. I had no clue where the boss is right now, because I had to focus the totems, which were super high HP. So nothing too special here. We save some cooldowns. We wanna pull them on the boss. I cage this mob here just to be sure we don't pull it. So whenever the boss comes out, I'm gonna send everything. What you want ideally is to have a maximum of 2 phases in tyrannical, especially. So here in fortified, maybe if you are super fast, you can only have one intermission phase, but I don't think that's the case. I don't see our damage is being super good right now, so I know the hands are coming, so I spread. I don't use any mobility. The totems are coming. I know he's not gonna cast hands for a split second at least. Now their hands coming. I stand still. I move sideways. Throughout this time you might notice that I put this pelter on focus, because I wanted to make sure that he's still in CC. Here this is unforged, the boss is 5%, so we get another phase. That's what you want to avoid. I go back, I focus cage the pelter, so we're fine. Now you see a little small detail. I press Alt Z in order to hide my UI, and this helps me track the totem easier. I was able to track it down, other people were able to, but so did I. This little helps, this little trick really helps. So we finish the totem, we finish the boss, and we move on. You see I have my meta. Oh, there are hands. Yeah, there are hands right after this phase. I have my meta, so I'm ready for a pretty big pull onwards, and we will use this pull as an example to explain the essence break combo. So we get past skip these mobs. If you remember, we skipped a lot of mobs earlier, so we need to compensate for that somehow. We need percentage. So the tank is gonna do a weird pull, and our healer dies somehow. I'm not sure what hit him, but we combat rush him, I guess. Here we dodge the avalanche. I drop the darkness. I try to help. I use health pot, and I go into the meta. So I beam. I spend my inner demon, I essence break, death sweep, meta, death sweep, and then I beam, and then again inner demon. So you can see this order of the spells on the left. I send the Sarkar string, and I send absolutely everything. There's a pelter here that we have been ignoring. This was a very hectic pull. I used network because I was very scared. This was a very hectic pull because the healer died at start. We all panicked a little bit. We started pressing buttons to survive, and we didn't realize there is a pelter around the corner, and this guy has to die fast. And yeah, we managed this pretty good. Like we spent one combat race, but we keep going. Yeah, there's another avalanche here. We dodge it not so successfully. The priest dies, so this group could really improve on avoiding avalanche. Like I made a lot of mistakes, other people made it. Let's hope we learn a little bit from it. The priest released, and we pull without the priest. That's very bad here. So at this stage there is another frontal again. Here I cancelled I-beam a little bit early because I was standing in the fire, and that's super bad. Here I Chaos Nova to stop the worms from transforming. I'm still trying to kill the Geode. I'm by my own because the tank pulled without the priest. That was a mistake for sure. So the Geode took ages to die. And I'm super scared here because there is the breath behind me. I don't know if I was in range. But yeah, in generally you will see me play super scared in this key. I try to cage this. For your consideration, you cannot cage this. This is, yeah, not working. It doesn't stop metamorphosis. Okay, so the reason I have been like super scared is this Grabmaster. There are two of them actually, which do this tank frontal. To the tank's credit, he's been doing, like I said earlier, a pretty good job standing in against the wall and making it easier for me to avoid this damage. But yeah, he cannot do much for the Sage and for the other things that I have to avoid. I if I would criticize myself on this dungeon, let's say up to now, I took a little bit too many avalances. That's one problem. And the other, I would say, I have been playing pretty scared. So I definitely have been losing some DPS, maybe more than some. There's a metamorphosis here. Yeah, I could be playing a little bit more aggressive, but this requires also a lot of awareness because literally you can die any moment. Most of these things here one shot. This could one shot me as well. And yeah, I've died so many times to this one shot thingy, and I maybe am a little bit too careful, and this costs me some DPS. But yeah, so be it. Okay, here you see I'm holding my I-beam. We're going into the worm, even if it's fortified. This is the worst boss in the dungeon. By far, we're gonna hero it. I have every button. And yeah, there's this DPS potion, there's the hunt. I send everything: I-beam, death sweep, vengeful retreat, essence break, death sweep. I try to meta here. I got clipped because the terrain is weird and you cannot always use metamorphosis because you cannot target the ground effect. But yeah, we make a short work of these ads and we move into the boss. So this is the toxic release. I should be blurring this. No, I was looking at our HP. I was fine. I'm leeching a lot because we had still the hand dot up. There's a lot of souls. And yeah, Havoc is pretty good on this fight because, yeah, now I use blur. Because we leech a lot. I glaive the demon down. Okay, so I continue doing damage. I've been, yeah, the Shadow Priest has been pumping, man. Like, Havoc is pretty good on this fight because you don't really require healing. You have so many defensives. If you get some demons, you're super fine. Here at the end of the spike tongue, when the tank was away, I moved out of melee range for a second because sometimes if the tank is a little bit late to the party, the boss swaps on you and one-shots you. So I did not want that to happen. Here I tried to line I-beam. I did a pretty good job, I would say, to hit more targets. I would probably be able to hit the boss as well. And I managed to fit the essence break as well into the window. So that was a pretty good I-beam. We keep moving. There's another blur. I use it on cooldown. So whenever the boss does the green thing, you try to pop something, whether it's a blur, healing potion, maybe netherwork down the line. We'll see. I mean, the next candidate here would be darkness. I would on the next green thingy, how it's called, I don't remember the name of the spell. I would try to darkness my team. Yeah, toxic range. Do I do that? Yep, I do. That's a pretty good call. There's a demon. I send the glaive. The demon tops you when it dies. So that helped me be pretty safe. So probably, yeah, I put a skull marker on this boss. We ignore the ads. And if you see, I save essence break here because the boss was pretty dead. I wanted to kill it as fast as possible to make sure it doesn't cast any more green stuff, but I wanted to save essence break because there is no point. There's no point using it. The boss was already dead. You want to save it for the next pack. So there's a lot of sooths here. This is a pretty weird round here. That was super weird. The tank got knocked onto the mobs, but it was in stealth, so she was fine. Now these mobs are super scary. Super scary. They do passive damage on the whole group. You cannot stop it. You just slowly die to it. I probably send my meta here. You know, I-beam, annihilation, vengeful retreat, essence break, death sweep, meta, death sweep, annihilation. Oh, I sent the glaive tempest in between, and then I-beam and annihilation. That's the whole essence break combo with meta. It does so much damage, and this ad died pretty quickly. You see, I almost die here. I shadow melt because I was targeted and I was 20%. Shadow melt is super good. Preferably, you want to be Night Elf because of that. Shadow melt can save your life so many times. Demon Hunters are super squishy, and yeah, you might use it to your advantage. I noticed Shadow melt here because it's super important. Because yeah, people asked me to use it in the next part of the dungeon before the boss, and I did not have it. I didn't realize it's on cooldown, so it cost me a lot. We'll just get to it. So people ask me if I can help them skip this one. I told them I haven't done this before, but I've seen this in videos. Normally if you pull the boss, these mobs are pulled together with the boss, and you don't want that. So you want to have someone like me throw glaive them, they come close to you, the other people pull the boss, and here you want to shadow melt. I was pressing shadow melt, but I didn't realize shadow melt is all cooldown, so I almost bricked the run here. Luckily we have a last combat race, so I can get up. I blare immediately because I know I'm gonna be at low HP. Here there is this ad. I wanted to use the Sarkareth trinket. I used the hand first. I realized this ad is pretty dead, so I can save my Sarkareth trinket for the next one. Yeah. So nothing special here. The ad died pretty fast. We stayed, just DPS the boss. Nothing too special. I don't have damage at the moment. Like, I have a DPS spot, but I'm not gonna use it now. I wait for my meta. It's in like 1 minute, and I want to use it there. So I send the I-beam, and we just wait at this point. We wait for the boss AoE. Okay, so we line. This is not line of sight for your ability, so if you have I-beam you can send it through the wall, or anything else you can send through the wall. So now the boss spawns a crystal spike. He does a landslide. Luckily he does not kill our spike. Now, yeah, I did not save everything for this because the ult is spawned, and I know I have the Sarkareth trinket, so I send it. There's meta coming up pretty soon. I know the ult is gonna get up, so I'm a little bit cautious because it might fixate me and kill me. So I wanna see. It doesn't fixate me. It goes back into the pillar. So I go for an essence break. Oh, I don't have the essence break. I go for the meta combo without the essence break. Yep. Here there is a pretty big mistake from me. I never worked. I never worked in panic because I did not wanna break this key. I forgot to use the DPS potion here with my meta. So always use the DPS potion with your cooldowns. That's a pretty basic thing. That's a mistake from my side. Here you see I'm holding the hand because I know there is another ad coming. I'm not sure at this stage if we're gonna kill it or not. So, but I'm sure that I'm not gonna get 2 uses of the hand. So there is no need to use it preemptively. You just hold, you wait and see. Boss is at 25%. We're killing this ad. So it was a good call to hold it. Yeah. And with the hand and an essence break, I don't know if the priest has something, if he's pumping. He's actually doing a pretty good job at this fight. They had fixate the priest, so I step in to kill it, and the priest dies. It fixates me. Luckily I'm able to move out. We have no combat race. I darkness behind here because I noticed that we're low. At least I use my potion on the ad. That's a good call. So we will try to finish the boss here. Unfortunately, the Shadow Priest is dead, and the other DPS is Augmentation. So Augmentation does not do a lot of damage on its own. It buffs other people, and our Shadow Priest is dead. So there is one fewer DPS to buff. So this Shadow Priest death also devalues the Augmentation value. Now we broke the pillar here. We're at a pretty terrible spot, I would say. There is another ad coming, but there is another pillar. So yeah, I know the ad is on me. I step behind the pillar and know we're not killing the ad. I can I-beam through the pillar like I told you earlier, and we finish up the boss. So that was a pretty good run, I would say. We had some clutch deaths here and there. We made mistakes, but we had pretty good damage, so we were able to manage, let's say. So this was the dungeon. We managed to get it to the end and time it. That was pretty awesome. If you stayed to the end of the video, thanks a lot. I hope you learned something from it. Please let me know in the comments if things were too basic or too complicated, or whether you were able to get something out of it in general. I'm a new creator, so I would really like to have some input regarding on what you would be interested to see more, so I can customize my future videos. Of course, if you want to support me, like the video, subscribe to the channel. There will be more such commentary videos coming, and we will experiment with a lot of other things around Demon Hunters. So thanks a lot again, and see you in the next one.